Our detail-oriented trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 5-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome everybody in to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. I just want to say everybody needs a little hot tour in their life, but regardless, I hope you're having a great week, heading into a great weekend. All right, a lot of stuff to talk about. Again, the loaded show, the loaded hour. EA Sports disrespects Nebraska, not once, but twice. So they put out their top 25 most difficult places to play per the EA Sports video game that is going to be coming out here in just a few weeks. Nebraska was nowhere to be seen in the top 25. So I kind of looked. I played in a lot of these places. I've been in a lot of these places. There's a couple of places in the top 10 that don't even believe in the top, that don't even belong, easy for me to say, in the top 25. And then I looked through a couple of websites, and one of them said the biggest snub on this list was Nebraska. All right. Now, EA Sports followed that up with their top 25 defense. This is per their rankings in the video game that is coming out, the highest ranked defenses as a collective unit. Nebraska is not in the top 25. You know who is? USC, who doesn't know how to tackle. Colorado, where they don't even believe in defense. They just want to score 1,000 points and get Shedeur Sanders drafted number 1 overall. How much more asinine can you get? Well, then I looked at the offense, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Nebraska should have been in the top 25 offenses, but I looked at the top 25 offenses. In the top 10 is Colorado and Clemson. Now, it doesn't seem as asinine as you might think when you just hear that. Well, Colorado's going to score. Clemson's a pretty good football program. So, and I'm going to get more into these more in depth in a minute. I want to give a couple of shout outs as always before I do. But they have Colorado as the 8th ranked best offense in the entire video game with an overall ranking of 89. They have Clemson as the 10th best offense in the entire video game. Here's what's asinine about that. Neither one of those two offenses were in the top 50 last year in college football. They were 60th and 52nd in the entire country. Now somehow they're supposed to leapfrog. And it can happen. This happens. But you're just going to project a leapfrog like this all the way up into the top 10 for both of them? Colorado had to bring in like 92 offensive linemen. I still don't know if they found 5 that can block. All right, I digress. I'm not fired up about this at all. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great weekend. All right, let me give a shout out to Bonzo Pool and Spa. All right, they've got swimming pools, they've got hot tubs and saunas. If you're looking for them, if you need one, if you want one, they're the place to go. Check them out at bonzopool.com. If you have such things, the aforementioned swimming pools, hot tubs, and saunas, but you need somebody to take care of them, they're the people for you. Check them out at bonzopool.com. So let's start by the toughest places to play according to EA Sports, their top 25 list. At number 1, they got Texas A&M and Kyle Field. Hey, that's a tough place to play. Now, you can argue, are they number 1? Are they number 3? I have no problem with them being top 5. You want to put them number 1. I don't have a gigantic issue with that. I have a gigantic issue with Oklahoma being in the top 10. I played in that place. I mean, they're a good football program. It's kind of loud. There's nothing special about the difficulty of playing in Oklahoma compared to a Texas A&M or an LSU or a whiteout at Penn State. There's other places that are way more difficult to play. I've been in Autzen Stadium in Oregon, which is rated lower than Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma seats way more people, but Autzen Stadium is way harder to play in. Jordan Hare Stadium in Auburn, been inside of that, tougher. Okay, now Michigan, they got like 110,000 plus people. They keep going back and forth every year, alternating with Tennessee, it seems like, as to who has the most capacity for the most amount of people in their stadium. But it's not that loud. The way it is built, the noise doesn't really stay in the stadium. Now, I don't have a problem with them being at number 16. Okay, I could argue that there are other places that are a little bit tougher. Okay, but my biggest issue is a place like Mississippi State, which is harder than most people would think to play in. But them being on this list, not Nebraska. Boise State, with all due respect, being on this list, but not Memorial Stadium. Okay, so you go back to Texas A&M. I actually have, and I forget if I've shared this story on this particular show in the past or not. I know I've shared it elsewhere. My senior year, we're going to A&M. All right, we win, and we clinch the Big 12 North, okay, and we go on to play Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. We got to win this game, though. Now, I've never had anything like this ever happen in my entire life, before or since. They do this weird thing in the stands at A&M. Okay, they got their male cheerleaders that are their yell leaders or whatever they are. They got their practice with like 10,000 fans the night before every game, every home game. Hey, that's cool. I respect all that. But they do this thing in the stands where they like sway back and forth. And it's like an anti-unison thing, if that makes any sense. Within about 5 minutes of the first quarter starting, I was like dizzy, like ready I couldn't look in the stands. Every time I looked up, just the way it was and the way the fans were moving, I would get lightheaded and dizzy. So I spent the entire freaking game staring at the ground while I was on the sideline, listening to coaches who thought I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, Coach, I can look up and then I'll vomit all over you, but I'm listening. I swear to God, I'm listening. So I'd go out on the field. I'd stare at the fat guy across from me, try to make a play, stare at the ground while we're in the huddle, listen to the play from the backer, put my hand in the dirt, and do it again. Then while I was on the sidelines, I would stare at the ground the entire time because I swear to God, if I looked up, I was just going to vomit all over the place. It was crazy. I'd never experienced anything like that. A&M is a tough place to play. Alabama. I'm not going to say that it's an easy place to play, and it probably belongs somewhere on this top 25, but number 2, they're at number 2. Okay. I am going to argue that this is more about the fact that Alabama's just been really freaking good. I could argue you could play Alabama out in the parking lot and it'd be a tough place to play. I think LSU Tiger Stadium, especially at night, should probably be ahead of Bama. Okay. You look at Florida, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, number 10 on this list. Easily a top 5 most difficult place to play, if not 1, 2, or 3. Okay. I have an issue with Alabama at 2. Probably somewhere in the top 25, maybe even 15. No problem with that. But I have an issue with them at 2. They're just really good at football, which makes it harder to beat them at home. I don't know that playing them at home is that much harder than playing them on versus another home field site because they're just really good. And they do have a good home field advantage, but I don't know that's number 2 in the country, nor do I agree with that. Okay, Oklahoma. Again, respect those fans. Nothing but love and respect. Okay. Hope they go into the SEC and hope they stomp a mud hole in every one of those teams and walk them dry, starting with Texas. But they don't belong in the top 15 toughest places to play, let alone at number 8. Number 1 is Texas A&M. Number 2 is Bama. Number 3 is LSU. Number 4, Ohio State. Number 5, Georgia. Number 6, Penn State. Number 7, Wisconsin. 8, Oklahoma. 9, Florida State. Number 10 is Florida Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. That's your top 10. Number 11, Oregon. Number 12, Clemson. Number 13, Tennessee. 14, Auburn. 15, South Carolina. 16, Michigan. So that's the top 16. Okay. Some of these, some people might rate some of these places top 15, top 10, top 5. I don't have an issue with that. How do you leave Nebraska completely off? You want to know why? Because Nebraska has not won a lot of football games. But I thought this was about the difficulty of playing within a particular football program stadium. It's hard to play inside of Memorial Stadium. My senior year, okay, we're playing Iowa State. And I'm so used to barely being able to hear the person next to me inside of Memorial Stadium. It's so loud. Like it was nothing fazed me when it came to loud stadiums, road or away. In fact, the quieter it was on the road, the more I liked it because, silence is deafening when you're beating your opponent in their house, in their face, in front of their fans. But we go to overtime versus Iowa State. This is back when Iowa State was pretty good at that point in time, fresh off the Seneca Wallace days. And we go into overtime. And we get the play call. Well, everyone else did. I couldn't hear it. I didn't see the signals because our defensive coordinator was like somehow hidden from me, so I couldn't see him. I couldn't hear the middle linebacker. I'm yelling at Titus Adams, okay, and LaKeven Smith, who are the D tackles next to me. What's the play? I have no freaking idea. They yell it to me. I can't hear them. Like we are 2 feet from each other, and I can't hear them. I put my hand in the dirt. I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. Now, the odds of me dropping into coverage my senior year were not great, so I kind of figured I wasn't going to drop into coverage. So that was a safe bet. But am I supposed to stunt to the A-gap with a long stick? Is it a pirate stunt? Me and the 3 technique stunting inside? Am I supposed to loop outside? Is it just a straight 4-man rush? I have no freaking idea. So I rush up. I'm just going to fire off the ball, hit somebody in the mouth, and hopefully blow everything up because I have no idea what I'm really supposed to do. I kind of got a little bit lucky in the aspect that they ran the ball the other way. So not much really ever became of it. But if I'm trying to talk to a guy or yell at a guy who's 2 feet from me and we can't hear each other, I don't know how Nebraska's left off this list. And no disrespect to like the teams that stand out to me. Boise State, Mississippi State, 25-24. Okay. Michigan State at 22. Those are the 3 that stand out to me. I'm not sure how you put them ahead of Nebraska and Memorial Stadium. I mean, Memorial Stadium, honestly, if Nebraska just wins more games, like Memorial Stadium's in the top 10 to 15. It's just about wins and losses. And I get, if you don't have a great home record, it must not be that hard to play there. I get that argument. But to not put Nebraska in the top 25 anywhere, that's a little bit asinine to a lot of bit asinine, in my opinion. All right, you go to the top 25 defenses. This is the one that really got me. Okay, so Nebraska, last year, 13th best scoring defense in the entire country. According to EA Sports, not going to be a top 25 scoring defense. Okay. We bring back Tony White. We bring back a majority of our starters on defense. We have a question mark due to an injury in the spring at basically one cornerback spot, maybe a little bit of depth. Outside of that, the D-line is rolling. Like, we look good at safety, depending on what they do with Hartzog. Does he have to go to corner? We don't know. Really, outside of that, like, the defense is projected to be the strength of this team and then some. Hutmacher. Okay. You got the polar bear inside. You've got some great transfer portal additions. Like, this defense, by all rights, should be a top 10, top 5 defense. Now, if you incorporate the schedule into this, which I know EA Sports is about how good you are, not who you play, according to their ratings, video game ratings, I get how that opinion can vary a little bit, but this could easily be a top 10, maybe top 5 defense in the country. Yet EA Sports does not have them in the top 25. But here's what really made me mad. You know who is in their top 25? USC. Are you freaking kidding me? They don't even know what a tackling drill is out there. Now, if you watch their spring game, their defense actually looked pretty good. Now, is that good defense, bad offense? I don't know. Spring game's the most overanalyzed practice each and every single season for every team every year. But you can't tell me they're all of a sudden going to be, what does EA Sports have projected? The 16th best defense in the country? Colorado at 20. What is going on? Am I living in a real-life version of a never-ending Joe Biden presidential debate? Whether you like Biden or not, whether you like Trump or not is irrelevant. I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows. I think most of us don't know what he said. That's what I feel like when I'm looking at these, as I'm looking at this computer screen. Do they know what they're putting out there for people to see? They realize people can see this, right? They are aware that people can actually see these rankings. Okay. So Nebraska, 13th best scoring defense in the country. Not in the top 25 according to EA Sports. But USC is. Colorado is. All right. So where was USC last year? And maybe they make a gigantic jump. USC was the 118th best scoring defense in the country. Somehow they're going to be top 25, but Nebraska won't be. Colorado, 121st best scoring defense in the country. Somehow 2 + 2 is not equaling 4. Look at the rush defense. Now, there was a time last year when Nebraska had the number 1 rush defense in the country. They still finished with the 8th best rush defense in the country. Okay. Let's look at the mighty Buffalo Trojan defenses. Okay. Where did they rank last year? Well, as I mentioned, they don't really care about tackling. They don't really care about stopping other teams from scoring. They just want to score. That's all Colorado wants to do. Colorado, 107th in the country in rush defense. USC, a whopping 116th in the country in rush defense. Yes, they're going to, you should absolutely, and who knows? These are young men. Who knows how good these teams will really be? That's what's fun about college football. Certain teams look like certain things on paper, and then you kick the ball off and all heck breaks loose, and that's what's fun. But how in the world do you project them to be better than the Black Shirts? All right, let's go to one more stat. And again, at one point last year, Nebraska led the country in sacks. They finished 23rd in the country in sacks by the Black Shirts. All right. Now, USC, Oklahoma, I mean, they make gigantic leaps here compared to their other defensive rankings. USC was tied for 51st in the country in sacks, not top 50. Colorado, a whopping 53rd. They couldn't even break the top 50. The defensive one rankings by EA Sports is what really got me. Like, how in the world do you put this out there for people to see? What is going on? It makes no sense. Now, had they put USC and Colorado on here, and I would have still made fun of them, even had they included Nebraska. I would have still pointed out those two teams in particular. I mean, this is like saying that Iowa's offense is going to be a top 5 offense next year. Hey, they were 132nd in the country next year, but they're going to be like number 3. I digress. All right, one last ranking, just for fun. This doesn't really involve Nebraska, but while I'm, taking jabs, why the heck not? The best offenses in the country, according to EA Sports. Number 8 is going to be Colorado. Now, Colorado's probably going to score. Out of those 89 offensive linemen that Coach Prime brought in, he can probably find 3 that can block and 2 that can fall down in front of the D lineman and at least give Shadur 2 seconds this year, unlike last year. And Clemson, they have this moral obligation in Dabo's mind, who I'm actually a big fan of Dabo Swinney. I really am. The guy sticks to his guns. He's got grapefruits. He doesn't mind criticism, and he's done stuff at Clemson that nobody else has ever done. But this moral obligation or opposition, I should say, that he has to the transfer portal makes no sense to me. But I have respect for him. Colorado's projected to be the 8th best offense in the country next year, according to EA Sports. Okay. Clemson is the 10th best. Again, this isn't as asinine as the toughest places to play ranking. This isn't as absolutely asinine as the defensive rankings. But again, Clemson and Colorado, respectively, were the 60th and 52nd best offenses in the entire country. Now, I should point this out. Now that I've just sit here and lambasted EA Sports and the college football video game, I can't wait for it to come out. I cannot wait. I was never a big Madden guy growing up. I like mobile quarterbacks. I like running the option. I love doing all those things, and that was a lot more what Nebraska did back in the day. And also, it's a lot more fun to do in a video game is to have, do those types of things, which you weren't able to do with NFL quarterbacks much outside of Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham way back in the day. So I've always been a college football video game, I don't want to say nerd, but that's the game. That was by far my favorite video game of all time. NBA Jams from the 90s was number 2, by the way. Still to this day, he's on fire. I love that video game. We still play it, the Super Nintendo. That's right. I know how to hook it up to my fancy smancy TV, that old thing. The graphics are awful, but it's still fun to play. And the college football video game, I can't wait for it to come out. We're just going to pretend we're going to live in this fantasy world where these rankings make sense. And I'm going to ignore the atrocities in these rankings. And I'm going to have fun playing that. I can't wait for it to come out. Okay. As much as I've talked about this video game today, I should be getting a check. I should be getting a check for the 6'6", 295 guy from Kennewick, Washington that looked like Ivan Drago back in the day, which was clearly me. And I never got it. I should get a check for that now. But here's why I really can't wait to play. And my son can hear me right now. I can't wait to beat his butt in the college football. Oh, he's giving me the dirty look. I can't wait to beat his butt because I've never had the chance to play him in the most up-to-date college football video games. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. When we come back, Jordan Westerkamp, Husker legend, will be joining me. We'll be right back.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. Ironhide Construction is a Nebraska-based general contracting and steel construction firm. Their expert team is experienced in building innovative construction solutions across several industries. While they were previously known for their extensive experience in steel erection and metal buildings, they've continued to evolve over the last several years into a full-service general contracting firm. They take pride in their commitment to quality, cutting-edge technology, and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961. Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Old School with DP and J.
And Todd Bowles, I'm gonna tell you this, DP. His voice does not match his body type.
That's what I'm saying. He's never I don't know how you can be led by Todd Bowles' voice.
That's a fireable offense anyway.
Like his facial expression is top notch. Then his voice, because it's literally you're there expecting. It's like Mike Tyson.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 26th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. I have a great special guest who's going to join me here in about 90 seconds. But before I bring him on, a couple of things. I think it's Jeff Round. I hope I'm saying that right. Jeff. He says, who gives an S? He didn't say S. But who gives an S what EA Sports thinks? Well, a couple of things. I don't put too much stock in video games. But when it's that asinine and it's that ridiculous, and the video game hasn't been out for a decade, it's not like we've had this thing year after year after year. It becomes a little bit bigger of a deal. So, Jeff, I care about it. All right. Next, I want to give a shout out to The Ticket, as always. Great place right here, right now. You're listening to him, obviously. Check him out, theticket.com, Facebook, Twitter, the Tube of You, also Carriker Chronicles. Check it out. The website is revamped. Not finished, but revamped. We've got 21 plus content contributors now. Check out CarrikerChronicles.com. Also, check out Carriker Chronicles on YouTube. Now, I want to bring on my guest for the day. He's a two-time All Big Ten performer. First team All Big Ten in 2016. Nebraska record holder for receptions in a single season, 65 of them in 2015. Nebraska record holder for 100 receiving yard games in a season. That is a tied record before in 2015. ESPN College Football Play of the Year winner for his reception versus Florida Atlantic in 2014, the behind-the-back grab. Sports Science Nation Award Outstanding Reaction 2015. Okay. And a man that I finally got the chance to meet last spring. Happy I got to meet you. Happy you're on again today, Jordan Westerkamp. How you doing, my friend?
Adam, what's going on, man? Happy Friday. Appreciate you having me on. And yes, it was great to meet you last time, and it was great to get back to a practice and see the Huskers in action.
Yeah, what'd you think of the practice you were able to see, and what were your thoughts and takeaways on just kind of how they run practice and all that?
Oh yeah, I loved it. It's up tempo. I'm a big fan of Coach Rule. I'm a big fan of him. During my time there, I got to meet the entire staff, Coach Rule, Coach McGuire, the wideout coach. I got to meet a bunch of people, and it was awesome. I really felt like, they're extremely friendly. I felt welcomed back, and I haven't felt that in a little bit. Obviously, there's been some turmoil in previous years, but I'm a big fan of Coach Rule, and I try to get back, to a game, to practice every year. So it was a great experience. One of my favorite times going back there since my playing days. But it was awesome. The practice was great. It was nice to meet all the coaches. It was a pretty big weekend too. We went out there, my brother and I. It was a coach's clinic, X's and O's, but I wanted to get back regardless. But Coach Belichick was in town, so it was just an awesome weekend. It was great to be back, and I loved the practice. I loved how the Huskers looked, and I'm really excited for this season.
Did you get a chance to meet and chat with Bill Belichick at all?
Sort of. After he kind of finished up his initial, his part of the coaches clinic, I know he took off pretty quick. But when that finished, myself and Nate Gary and a couple other guys, we just went up to the coaches' offices, just so I just wanted to see the wideout room and whatnot, and kind of just relive through some moments up there. But as we were going back up there, we ran into him on his way out, and I just said, "Thanks, Coach, for your time." And it was a pleasure, to be able to come here and see you speak. So briefly.
Sometimes there's some things we can learn from people off the field. I mean, he's a 72-year-old guy with a 24-year-old girlfriend. So I think we can learn more from him than just football, just to point that out real quick. But hey, man, let's talk a little bit of football now. So Nebraska's got a whole plethora of new wide receivers, Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nayor from Wake Forest, from Texas. Okay, just to name a couple. As a receiver trying to learn a new offense, probably going to have a freshman quarterback that's starting. How challenging can it be to try to learn and get comfortable in an offense quickly with a new quarterback who's also trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's very challenging. It's very challenging. And one thing that, I pride myself on, and Tommy, and shout out to Tommy, I think he just finished up his second back-to-back championship there with the Indoor Football League with the Omaha Beef. So congratulations to Tommy. He had a hell of a year. But I expect nothing less from him. But one thing I pride myself on with Tommy and I is obviously we were two guys that were at Nebraska, a redshirt freshman year, all the way through our senior year. So we had plenty of time to work together and build up that chemistry. These guys, they're, with the transfer portal and all this stuff that happens now, it's rare to find, guys that have been there for more than 2-3 years that are working with the same quarterback that they originally started with. So it's crazy, and that's tough because chemistry is extremely important, right? Wideouts, they run routes differently. They get in and out of their breaks a little bit differently. Everyone's different. So it takes time. So it'll be real interesting to see how those new guys, how they adjust. Obviously, Raiola, he's a stud. But we haven't seen him play one college football game, and there is an adjustment to that. So we'll see.
So if you were there now, say, kind of a veteran type guy, and let's say, Raiola does end up starting, that seems to be what's going to happen. Knowing you're going to have a true freshman starting quarterback, and as talented as he is and as much experience as he has up to this point, like you just said, he hasn't taken a single snap in an actual college football game yet. Is there advice you would give him, or what would you do if you were his teammate as a veteran wide receiver? What would you do to try to help him, especially early on in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I would just be realistic with him, and that's the biggest thing. He's a young guy, right? He's a young guy. And again, I have not had a chance to meet him, but I've only heard good things. But obviously with younger guys can come, a little bit of immaturity, if that's the right word. So what I would, tell him, I would just say, hey, listen, man, you're QB1. You're young, but I'm going to be real with you. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a rocky road. Obviously, we hope for the best, but that's just not realistic. Be ready to go. Block out all the outside noise. I would recommend don't go on social media. Just little things to help him so we can just really focus on the football part of this entire equation, right? Because there's a lot of factors that go into it, and with a younger athlete, younger guy, they can get caught up in a lot of stuff that's not important. So as a vet, I keep my arm around him. I keep him, I pump him up, keep his spirits high, and just do whatever I could to make his first year, essentially, right? This is his first year, as easy as possible.
So I think everyone kind of assumes Nebraska's offense is going to be better this year. We got a lot of experience up front on the offensive line. I think the expectation is, even with the inexperience of Raiola, he's probably coming in ready to play as much as any true freshman can possibly do so. We've got a bunch of talented guys in that running back room that still needs to be sorted out during fall camp. Who's going to be kind of the bell cow or bell cows of the offense? You got Fedoni at tight end. You got some big time, big receivers, 6'3", 6'2", Banks, Naor. Then you got Malachi, who's about 6'3", 6'4". Then you got some speed guys, Jalen Lloyd, Ja'Cory Barney. I know Jaden Doss is going over to the defensive side now. But how much better do you think this offense can be this year?
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. And it's you look on paper, it all looks good, right? And we can make these assumptions, but again, I'm so past the assumption part of it. Now it's just, we got to see the games. We got to see wins, and we got to see him perform when it matters, right? When it matters. There's a lot of teams out there with a ton of talent that aren't, great teams, Colorado, but
I agree.
You just got to wait and see, right? You got to wait and see. And I get asked all the time, what do you think of Coach Rule? I'm like, I like Coach Rule. I met him. He's a great guy. Last year was his first year. I totally get it. Obviously, when you go through a transition year, the odds of you having a great season, very low, very low. This is year 2 now. Obviously, we hope for improvement. But again, be realistic. Obviously, yes, undefeated national champs. I get that. But we just want to see a couple extra games won this year. Want to see a bowl game, right? I think a bowl game should be, our lowest expectation should be a bowl game, bare minimum. But it's tough, as you mentioned. Raiola, new quarterback, young. I mean, there's a lot of other factors that play into it than just looking at the paper. So we'll see. But I'll let you know this: I don't think I've been this excited for a football season, a Husker football season, in a long time. So I'm looking forward to it. They've got the talent. They do have some guys coming back. Everything looks good, but at the end of the day, the games are what matters, and that's we'll have to wait and see on those.
So I think everybody kind of has that similar mindset. We got the Kool-Aid is flowing. I didn't know how I was going to legit get excited about Nebraska football this year, other than I always do, because I freaking love Nebraska football. But right.
Going
back to November and December, okay, just transport with me for 1 millisecond, then we'll never go back to that point again, because we lost 4 straight games and ended up not going to a bowl game. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how in the world am I going to legit get excited for Nebraska football this fall? And it's crazy, because I am with you. Just the process that I've seen, the things that I've seen happen, what I believe Matt Rule wants to do, what he legit believes in. It's not just lip service. It's who he is. I believe he's like a Nebraska guy before he ever got here. Once he got here, it was like, oh, well, this is actually a great fit. We're like a puzzle piece right into the puzzle. And it's like, I am legit more excited. I've always get excited for Nebraska football because I love Nebraska football and because I want to get excited for Nebraska football. And there was always reasons to find and look for to get excited. But it's like, I didn't think it would happen. And I'm more legit excited this year than I ever have, like in the past half decade have been. And it's totally organic. Like for you, I feel like you're the same way. What stands out to you about why you're like, all right, I'm more excited than I've been? Like, what is the difference in this offseason for you versus the Kool-Aid in previous off seasons?
Right. I think one of the biggest things was being able to go see a practice and seeing them in action. Like they looked good. They looked good at the practice that I went to. Everything looked like it was being run well. The coaches looked like they were all bought in. They were into it. Raiola looked the part. I think it was, you mentioned him earlier, is it Naor, one of the wideouts?
Yep. Isaiah Naor, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. He's one guy that when I was there, I kept looking at my brother. I was like, yeah, he looks pretty darn good. He's standing out. He's making some plays. So they got some playmakers. And I think another Isaiah. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Last name with a C.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, he was hurt. I think he's been hurt. I can't remember.
Oh, Malachi Coleman.
No, Garcia. Oh my God, Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
Yeah, Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, he's still there, but I believe he was hurt. But is he healthy now, Adam?
I don't have the most recent update. I do anticipate him being able to do things this fall, though.
Right. So he's coming back. So he's a guy that's been there. He knows the deal. He's coming back. And then obviously Malachi Coleman. and again, I'm talking primarily about the Wildcats right now, but because that's where I stayed and followed them around. They got some playmakers. They got some guys that can go out there and get that football. So I'm excited to see them perform. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird feeling when I was there too. It just felt good, and it's kind of hard to explain. But it was a good atmosphere. I can tell the players were bought in, coaches were bought in, and at the end of the day, they looked good. For me, that's it, right? We can talk all we want, but how do they look? And again, the end all be all the actual games. So, but yeah, that's I've gotten so past this year they're going to win X amount of games. This people always ask me, like, listen, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, Coach Rule's second year, we hope to have progress. And again, if you ask me what do I think there definitely will be. And I definitely, I don't want to say anything for sure, but I mean, a bowl game, very likely this season. But again, I'll go back to it. At the end of the day, it's the games. It's the games. But being able to get out there and see a practice, that got me hyped.
I'm with you, dude. Bowl game is absolutely fair as far as being the bottom of the barrel of expectations. Like, this is the minimum we should be able to expect for this year, in my opinion. Now, the ceiling could be anything you want it to. Like you said, undefeated national champs. Okay, the ceiling can be anything you want. What's realistic? I think way back in February or March, I said 8-4. I'm going to have to revisit that before the first game of the year. 7-5, 8-4, 6-6, whatever the case may be. All right, man. I don't know if you're play video games, if you're much of a gamer at all, but are you excited for the EA Sports College Football video game that's coming out for the first time in like 10 years here in just the next few weeks?
I'm definitely a gamer. And yes, I'm very excited. The last one they made, a long time ago, I was in that one. So it's been a minute, but it's cool. That to say that you were in a video game, that's pretty darn cool. And the fact that they're bringing that back, I know. I mean, obviously fans are excited, but the players got to be ecstatic about that and whatnot. It just adds another layer to the college football experience. So I'm excited for that. And I'm going to be looking to see if they do any like throwback teams, see if I can get it on a roster or something.
Oh, dude, that'd be odd. You can just do creative player too. Somehow I'm always a little bit faster and stronger when I do the creative player. I don't know why it works out that way.
Yeah, I'm a little bit taller too.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate you taking the time. What are you doing nowadays? Because I know you're doing some things, trying to help grow some future potential football players. What are you doing nowadays? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm located in Wheaton, Illinois. My brother and I, we opened up our own sports performance facility here in Wheaton, Illinois, and we work with athletes across every sport, essentially, working on strength and speed. And then I also do some wide-out coaching as well. So this has been a dream come true. We've been open for about a year and a week. Our name, we're Major Sports Performance, again, located in Wheaton, Illinois, and we are a private sports performance facility. So when we work with athletes, it's either one-on-one or small groups of six athletes. But, again, a dream come true. We work with youth, high school, college, pro athletes. It's been awesome. We've been able to grow this thing organically. We're pumped. And actually, you know what? It's funny. I worked with a couple of what's his name? Danny Pascal, who's a current player at Nebraska. I worked with him a little bit in this facility before he was sent off to Nebraska. So, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. That's kind of what I've been up to. I also, my wife is very pregnant. She's about to give birth to our first child here at the end of July. So I'm excited for that. There's a lot going on, but it's all good things.
Congratulations. Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? You're going to be surprised?
Yeah, it's a boy.
Well, congrats, man. Get as much sleep as you can now, my friend. That's my big parental advice that you didn't ask for. Get as much sleep as you can now.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. We're excited. My wife, she's actually done very well throughout the entire process. But that's kind of the common thing I keep hearing. Like, there's no such thing as a sleep schedule anymore once that baby is born. But again, we couldn't be more excited, and we already got a bunch of Nebraska gear for him. So we're excited, and this will be, born in July. This will be the first Husker season that he gets to watch, and he'll be watching with me, but he'll be watching.
Well, congratulations, and brainwashing our children from birth. That's what Nebraskans do. All right, man. I appreciate you joining me.
All right, Adam. Hey, have a great day. And again, anytime you want to, chop up, talk about some Nebraska football, I'm always down.
Sounds great, man. I appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise probably sunny and hot. An afternoon high around 92. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise probably cloudy, or around 69. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies return with a high around 82. Meteorologist Kyle collecting from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the pursuit of justice for those that have been injured. My name is Eric Hagan, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our detail-oriented trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you. All backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of June, get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 72 months on model year 21 through 23 wheeled 8R tractors. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. All right. Final segment here. As always, you can check out the Carriker Chronicles at carrikerchronicles.com. Also on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, that is the show that I do as well on the side on my own. You can always check that out. Also, all things 93.7, The Ticket as well. So I came across this thing on Facebook, and the headline was, "Imagine if your kid's high school football coach posted this on Facebook." And I believe this was a real post from a high school football coach, I believe in Texas. So here it is. Take a knee, folks. I don't post on social media much at all, but I want to put an end to the texts and voicemails I've been getting in regards to practice. Look, folks, it's summer. It gets hot. Welcome to Texas. We do two-a-days in the summer because it's hot. It builds character and forges boys into men and men into an unbreakable team. Look at our trophy case if you don't believe me. The simple fact is that nobody has ever died from it being too warm outside. So no, we will not be doing 15-minute water breaks every hour or any other suggestion you may have. The players will get breaks when and if myself and the other coaches feel it's warranted. Remember that playing a team sport for, then the name of the high school is blacked out here, is entirely voluntary. And you or your son, if you don't like it, you can just have them quit and go join theater camp where they can sit inside in the air conditioning all day and use their pronouns. But as long as they're on my field, I believe in work, not woke. That is all. So that's the end of the post there. So a couple of things. I was very curious to see the comments and responses to this, and I was shocked at how many people, like, I figured it'd be kind of a split. Some people one side, some people disagreeing, some people liking. People freaking loved it. First of all, two-a-days, I didn't know a lot of teams still did that. I guess in high school you probably still do. So that was one thing that stuck out to me. Okay, but a lot of people actually supported the coach and they backed him up. Now, don't know the name of the high school. Sounds like they've won a lot. So winning is like the best cure-all. Okay, if a losing coach posts this, a coach that loses a lot, he's going to get ran out of town. Okay, if you're losing a lot in high school in Texas, you're probably going to get ran out of town anyways. But man, this would sure speed up the clock. So the fact that they appear to be a winning team with a full trophy case absolutely helps. It's like winning is like the best deodorant ever, okay, for something that otherwise might stink. So you got to keep that in mind. This is Texas, okay, where football's like a religion. Got to keep that in mind. Okay, now there are a couple of things in here, you know, the whole work versus woke. I don't know. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. I do believe in working hard. I mean, if anybody knows anything about me, okay, my Mount Everest was not climbing Mount Everest or jumping out of an airplane, which my wife has done. Who in their sane mind jumps out of an airplane? Like, what is going on? I'm the one who set it up for her. She had a blast. That's a story for another day, because I involuntarily almost joined her when the guy flipped the plane and I'm staring out 10,000 feet straight out the open door of a plane. Nobody showed me how to use the backpack or the chute. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, I didn't fall, but I'll finish that story on another day. But I was surprised at how many people supported the coach. For me, okay, there was a couple other things that stood out. 15-minute water breaks. I mean, you can accomplish a water break in 5 minutes. So if parents were really requesting 15-minute water breaks, and it sounds like there was a plethora of texts and voicemails. Okay, so that in of itself is a problem. Okay, there can't be that many. So that in itself is an issue. 15-minute water breaks is an absurd ask. Okay, now when he says nobody's ever died from it being too hot outside, I mean, that's not really accurate. There are people who, you know, people have had issues with this in the past physically, which is why there's been some alterations to rules and how things are done over the years. But the part where he talks about building boys into men and men into, what did he call them, an unbreakable team, there's something to be said for pushing your limits. Obviously, high school kids, you want to be safe, you want to be smart, their health is their priority. But if you don't want to be out in the heat, when I was with the Rams, we were doing two-a-days. We had a scrimmage my rookie year. They came on the radio. It was so hot and so freaking humid. They said, keep your dogs inside. It's not safe for them to be outside. We're out there in full pads. By the way, at 2:30, the hottest part of the day, on purpose by our head coach, scrimmaging. If you can't handle that, there's nothing wrong with picking something that's inside in the air conditioning. There's nothing wrong with taking the pads off and going and doing something else. This all is within reason. It all has its limits. Again, there's a reason certain rules have changed, and I support those rules, but there's something to be said for pushing your limits and becoming not just physically stronger, but mentally tougher and stronger. And I call it being a mental monster. You can be a mental infant or you can be a mental monster. If you want to play football and this is not for you, maybe you should want to play something else, and that's perfectly acceptable. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he kind of took a little bit of a shot at people who do theater. I got nothing but love and respect for people who do theater. If that's more for you, then that's all good. That's cool. That works for me. But don't come out into football and try to change football. Football will not change for you. It will evolve because that's what things do. But don't send Lord knows how many texts and voicemails this guy got. Don't whine and complain for 15-minute water breaks on the hour. Don't do it. Because if that's what you're going to do and that's where your head's at, go do something else, and that's okay. But if you want to be a mental monster on the football field, this ain't a fun process. I've been through it God knows how many times. I remember a random memory, practicing, getting ready for a two-a-day. And I'm doing the quad stretch, the old school quad stretch, which is bad for your knees. I'm laying on my back, stretching my quad, and I see a plane go over the top of me. I'm like, man, I could be a pilot right now. Instead of out here in 4 billion degrees, I mean, I can barely walk because I'm so beat up. I could be going and doing that. That was legit a thought in my head. And you know what? I got up from the quad stretch and I went and ran my head into the biggest, fattest offensive lineman I possibly could. And it wasn't always fun, but I knew I was better for it and I wanted to be better, and being good at football, that was fun to me. One more story I'll share, and then I know we got to roll. Spring practice. And I'm a young guy, and I've never had spring practice before at Nebraska. I'm like a freshman, and I'm going against like the first string offense. I'm kind of getting beat up. I'm taking my lickings, and I'm learning. I'm evolving, hopefully trying to get better. And I don't know what look I had on my face. I thought I was just stretching like anybody else. And I love football. So if someone like me who loves football as much as me can have these thoughts from time to time, because it's not easy, it's part of the game, our strength coach, Dave Kennedy, looked at me. I'm in the stretch line, and he just stares at me, and he starts laughing. And I go, what's so funny? He must have been reading my mind because I was having a tough day on that particular day. Now, the Rams story and the freshman story, these are like 6 years apart. A lot happened in between these two stories. And he goes, football ain't easy. Football ain't for everybody. And he just walked away. And that stuck with me because if it was easy, everybody would do it. He didn't say that to me that day, but he said, football ain't easy and ain't for everybody. And that stuck with me because it told me that what we were doing was hard, rare, and special, or at least that's how I viewed it. Anyways, I hope that made a little bit of sense. I thought the post was interesting. I thought the phenomenal support he got under his post was kind of shocking to me, surprising, but there are things that he said in there that I 100% agree with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Adam Carriker. I hope you have a phenomenal weekend. Until next time, go big, Red Nose. Remember to throw the bug.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for